Well, US markets are lower as we approach noon despite better retail sales and jobs figures. Now we're joined by Ben Willis of Albert Fried. Ben, we started out high today, but we've recently seen a turn. What's been behind that?
Well, I think from the trading perspective, there is a story that Goldman Sachs may have lowered their first quarter estimates for 2014 from 1.7 to 1.5. That being said, I believe the markets are basically reacting to the global markets and what's going on in China. The big picture is the world markets are trying to reprice China, that had been the savior of the world economy, now slowing down. And you had admission from their leader overnight saying that they're just comfortable with that slowdown. So I think that's really where the market's trying to reset itself.
Okay. Now, has China been the key reason that we've seen a general lack of direction in US markets this year?
I would say it is. If you look for one item, it would be one of the top two. The other one, of course, would be the lack of direction, if you will, from the central banks around the world trying to figure out what to do next. We now know that the correction is over, so to speak, and the world economies are improving. Now it's a question on how central banks work themselves out of the positions they put themselves in, of course being led by the Fed. But China is in that, their currency valuation, whether it's Argentina, as unimportant as that seemed at the time. I think that's all what you need to keep an eye on as we try and revalue the world markets.
Okay. Now, to what extent might we see money being pulled from emerging markets this year and reallocated to US equities? Have we already seen that? Did we see it last year with the first talk of tapering, or is that still happening?
I believe we saw it happen. Whether that will continue or not, I really don't know. I think some of the smart money that I know started to buy in the emerging market in the sense that the global market, again, the big picture view is that the low fruit has been picked over. This is going to become a stock picker's market. So while you may have had major indices or entire stock markets that are sold off, there were real values in some of the stocks that were sold, and that's where the professionals have stepped in. So that's been the case in the emerging markets, and that will continue to be the case in the United States as well.
Well, there you have it. Uncertainty continues to plague markets. That was Ben Willis of Albert Fried, and I'm Jane Searle for TheStreet.